What's going on, you guys? It's your boy, 40 Days, 40 Nights, 369 in the building, man. Back at it again with another podcast over here with freaking Connor Gray. How's it going, bro?
Connor Gray, not Conan Gray. Don't
Oh,
get
no,
us mixed.
I got your name right. No, I'm kidding. No.
Nah, because people online keep going, Conan Gray. I'm not Conan Gray.
There's Conan Gray right there. No. Dude. Hey, man. Hey, it kind of pushes the music scene, though. Cause,
a little bit.
When I used to look up Connor Gray, it would always come up Conan Gray. I'm like, dude, who is this guy, bro?
Who's Conan? Nah, I'm kidding. I get this bro like that. Nah, he's got some interesting music. I like some of his music. So
yeah. Dude, hey, by the way, y'all, real quick, wait, my bad. I'm in my car right now, so I'm low-key freezing real quick, though.
Yeah, it's 5 a.m. right now. Like, in my time, it's 5 a.m. It's 3 a.m. for him. So, like, we got to make sure, like, we're both in the right positions right now. You know, as you guys notice, like, literally, I'm going to pull this up really quick. Every time I'm doing another podcast, my background changes. Literally every time. And every time I do a video, my background changes as well. Freaking, I don't know, I'm always experimenting with my room and everything, and it's either usually like a big mess, like over here right now is a huge mess, but I really don't care. I'm ready to do this podcast. We've been waiting out on it so long, like...
Dude, it's been way too long, bro. Like, honestly, dude, oh my gosh.
The thing is like, I'm going to say this to the audience really quick. When he's available, I'm not available. When I'm available, he's not available. So that's what kept pushing it out for so long, was like, you know.
Guys, I can't even call past like 8 or 9, dude. This dude be going to bed at like 10, 11 at night. I'm like, dang, bro.
It's only been 2 nights than that.
No, I'm saying like my time, dude.
Oh, word. Okay, yeah.
Well, no, actually, wait, no. Hold on. I meant it the other way around, but still, bro.
Yeah.
Still. Nah, dude, it's all good, dude. And with me, dude, I can't catch a break, bro. But, you know, God is working, bro. And as long as I'm just still, that's it. Just being still and literally just whatever's coming at me, dude, I just got to fight with the tide in the sense of, giving it to God. But he's also given me more responsibility so I can work, and I can work with my hands. And, you know, like, it's like, yo, it's crazy, but, you know, God's working, bro. And I'm working to get back to this content in Jesus' name.
Amen. Well, I mean, it's definitely been a rough past few months since we did the podcast as well. Like, I had been sick a lot, like, extremely sick. Like, I went to New York, I came back, I had the flu. Then, literally, once I got out of that, I had a really bad bipolar episode. And then, when I got out of that, I had a really bad cold. And now we're here right now, so...
Bro.
We're finally, like, able to get back around to this stuff. Like, nah, it was really bad. And, like, even if you guys even notice, like... This is a little bit strange because, you know, I got my face back on camera, and, you know, I haven't had my face on camera. Like, the past few videos I did, like, they were AI narrated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But...
Yeah, it was AI narrated, but I do like the Marvel videos you've been doing, though.
Yeah.
See, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Did you see the last one I did?
No, I did not. No.
Well, it's pretty good. You gotta check it out sometime.
Which one was the last one exactly?
It was talking about Captain America being in the Fantastic Four universe.
I did not watch that one, no.
Yeah, no, it's a very good theory. I was thinking about it for a little while, like, because I had to think about all, like, the timeline stuff and everything, and it was like a lot I had to think about with it. And yeah, I literally what I did was, when I was making the video, was I was literally talking into my phone like this in a chat GPT, and I'm like, well, hypothetically, like, if you were, like, if they were to come back in time, like, yada, yada, like, getting into the whole, like, multiversal thing. And so I was talking to ChatGPT so it would help me write my script because I knew I wouldn't be able to organize my own thoughts. So it just did that for me because I have a terrible time organizing my own thoughts. Like there's been
Bro,
stuff that I've been working on, and the notes on it are just horrendous. So yeah.
no, I feel you, bro. Dude, I write notes for everything I've been working on, and just it's like I got my mind in a notebook, and it's like, yo, this is a lot, dude. Like, I don't know if I showed you, but I got a notebook with just everything I've been doing, like pretty much this whole year so far, and I've been keeping track of everything. But I'm on like page 57, dude, and it's like that. That's crazy.
It's only like March tomorrow.
Yeah, it's March tomorrow. Yeah,
That's wild though. Like bro.
cooked, bro. But it's, hey man, it helps.
And you definitely had your fair share go on this year so far. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
no, it's been crazy, bro. Hey y'all, we went from freaking. I'm not gonna get too much into it, but just dealing with a lot of freaking, just a lot of personal stuff. You know what I mean? You know, friends, freaking, just trying to balance everything out, man. Like it was crazy, and then I finally just balanced it, and I was just like, all right, you know what? Honestly, what if I am the problem in a sense? I'm not saying everything is my fault, but I'm saying, what if I am the problem in the sense of I can be better? Meaning, if I'm the problem, bro, I might have to just be the solution to all of this to kind of just. I'm not saying like, you know what I mean, like how we were talking about holding the branches in the sense of oh my
yeah,
own, but more just giving it to God and doing what I can just to freaking just maintain and not, you know what I mean, like freaking what's the words for it? Not have to deal with everyone just kind of just on me about things, pretty
yeah,
much. But I get it, dude. They do it out of love, man. So it's like I get it, but it's just, yeah,
yeah,
I'm getting tired, dude, and yeah, I've been hustling. I've been doing better than I was in 2025, and I was still doing good, but now it's just like I'm locked.
yeah.
But yeah, man.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's definitely been a difficult year so far, but this year it's gonna have its highs, it's gonna have its lows. You know what I mean? I think everyone wanted 2026 to be like 2016 in a sense, but
For
but the problem with that is like 2016 was a year that we all faced extreme hardships as well. Like, but yeah, no. So I was thinking like, what topic do you really want to start on today?
how about the love of God? Like just the
The
love
love
of
of
God,
God.
bro.
All right. Yeah, let's do it.
Like honestly, dude, bro. If y'all got a house, like if you're living in a house, bro, or you got just somewhere to live right now, bro, praise God. Like if you got a car, for example, praise God. If you got freaking food, praise God. If you got clothes on your back and you got a hat right now, Connor, praise God.
I
Man,
can cover up my hairline. You don't have to see it right now.
yeah,
It's
hey,
cooked. It's cooked.
I, I got my hairline too. They call me Sky Rizzy though. You know what I mean?
Terry
Hey,
Silver in the building. Hey.
I could respectfully give Connor that name though, bro, because I heard the backstory on that one too. So I was like, okay, we both Sky Rizzy though.
we got Rizzy.
I'm Sky Rizzy in a different one. No, I'm kidding. No.
But nah. So like, so getting back to the love of God thing.
Yeah,
So over like the past week or so, like
yeah.
I've definitely grown my closest to God, and I'm gonna bring my screen up, but I've definitely
Right?
grown my closest to God over like the past week. Um, I have been like because I've been facing so much hardship, it's been really hard to even sustain myself, hold myself up, and I've been trying to work a lot harder than I have been, like, a lot, and it's caused me a lot of mental problems where you know this is sad because like inside my heart I'm very sweet, but my personality seems like when I talk, I feel kind of like harsh in the way that I speak, but in my tone. But I'm not really that kind of way. Like I have like a really good heart and stuff. I'm very childlike and everything, and so it's it's caused me a lot of mental pain when people start looking at me as if I'm this kind of harsh dude with a lot of mental problems, because that's a part of it. But like that's a part of who I am in a way. I do have certain issues like bipolar disorder, attention deficit disorder, and stuff. I do have some problems that I can't control, which are in my brain. You know what I mean? And it sometimes it does cause me to act irrationally. Sometimes it causes me to get distracted from the bigger picture, and I've lost people in my life because of it. And I've people around me have distanced themselves from me because of a lot of the mental hardships that I've faced throughout the past few years. So a lot of what happened really boiled down to me needing to actually get closer to God. And I couldn't tell you where the flip switched. Like I couldn't, or the switch flipped. I don't know. See, my mind's all scrambled
Yeah,
up.
I
But
got what
it's like it came down to a point where I was just like, I really just need to grow closer to God, and I just grew closer to God, and oh, I remember where it happened. I I'm gonna be honest. I had fallen into sin. I had fallen into my own like lustful ways again, and I
yeah,
remember I was like praying because it felt like I couldn't control it. Like it felt like I could not control it. And in the matter of a split second, I saw the kingdom of God around me. And I felt it in my spirit. Like I didn't physically see it, but I saw it in my spirit. And I had this realization about how big God actually is, how big the kingdom of God actually is, how big heaven is, and
amen.
how big hell is as well. And so it really hit me as this realization. And in that moment, I like completely stopped. And it was quite a few days before I had another issue like that. And um, even when that happened, it once again drew me closer to God because I really had repented of it in that moment where I was like, you know what, I'm not turning back to this stuff. I mean, like, look, I know that I'm human. I'll probably make the mistake again sometime in my life, probably within the next few weeks, to be honest with you. But the truth be told is that I came to this place where I started loving God so much that I didn't want to do any of that stuff. And I think that God is showing his love to me so much more because I'm 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 becoming stronger in the faith. I'm becoming stronger in God. And so like a lot of it is really, I just want to be close to God nowadays. I don't want to be in my own ways. I don't want to be stuck up. Like, I don't want to have a hardened heart. I don't want to be hateful anymore. I don't want to be argumentative with people anymore. And I just want to walk in the purpose which God gave for me, which starts with a repentant heart. And so, you know, I repented of my sins, and God showing me mercy. He's showing me love. He's still showing up for me while I'm a sinner and don't deserve it. And I'm grateful for that because people don't understand, but the greatest act of love was what happened on that cross, right?
Yeah,
Giving flowers to your girlfriend is not the greatest act of love that there is. The greatest act of love was what happened on that cross. And a problem that I've had is like I've felt the lack of like love in my life, and people who actually care for me and everything.
Mm,
Now my freaking annoying little brother who loves me so much is sleeping over, so I guess it
yeah,
all works out,
yeah,
but it turns out, like God will take care of you, God will provide for you and whatever you need, and whatever you ask for in His name, if you believe it, even with faith as small as a mustard seed, you will receive it. So,
amen. Yo, if you ask, you shall receive, bro.
but take delight in the Lord first, and He will give you the desires of your heart.
Miyagi, amen. In
Don't
Jesus'
stop
name.
for the night, fell in love for the night. For you think
Hey,
I'm wrong, what is you doing right?
yo, bro, amen, bro. Dude, I was gonna tell you too towards the end, dude. So, has your brother been putting you on to WWE? Just a little bit.
Nah, he's been talking about it though. Like I was literally on the phone with him for like an hour earlier, and he said something about WWE, and it like went right over my head.
You're
But
just like, I don't even know, dude.
I don't even know who these people are. But okay.
And I literally catch up the last few weeks if you were to freaking understand anything he's saying, dude. I had to restart like the last month of WWE, bro, to understand what's going on.
Really?
Yeah, and I watched this, dude. It was like, yo, that's crazy, bro. But yeah, no. Uh, you're gonna hear about it a lot, bro, with him coming over more, dog. That's crazy.
I'm sure, but he's coming at like 2 o'clock, and he's only staying till like 1:30 the next day. So
Yeah, well, ask him a question. Ask him who he thinks the new masked man is. Like, there's a dude that's like, he's wearing a mask, right? And he's going around beating people up right now, bro. He beat a dude up at the Royal Rumble. If you could remember that and tell him, he'll know exactly what you're talking about.
alrighty, I'm not gonna lie. I'll just call you, and I'll let you ask him. 6'7", 6'7".
6'7". Whoa, whoa. 6'7". Post that, bro. And then just with like the whoa. Ooh, bro. Whoa.
Bro, I gotta do a freaking blooper reel of this stuff, bro. This is funny.
Bro, this is crazy, bro.
You want to talk about Israel and Jeffrey Epstein?
Yeah, go for it. Why not?
Okay.
All
Okay.
right.
I'm not a cook here.
All right.
Alright, so moving on. I had a topic that I have felt very interested in over the past few weeks, and I even made a solo video on this channel about a part of it, because there was something I had to say about it at one point, but I want to talk about the Epstein files. I want to talk about Jeffrey Epstein, and I want to talk about a lot of how what I saw that. A lot of what he did tied to Israel and how much influence Israel has over our country, because this is a very important subject to me, especially around the topic of Israel. Um, whenever someone mentions Israel, I just automatically I get angry. So
Israel. No.
I want to start off with the thing that's out there the most that people talk about when it comes to Israel. APAC. APAC is it's basically a lobbying group. They pay the campaigns for all these like senators, congress people, presidents, whatever, right? So if you go and look through all the APAC donations, everything, you're gonna find some really crazy things. And one of those crazy things is a $230 million donation to the Trump administration, to his campaign. And something that was interesting to me was that Benjamin Netanyahu, Prime Minister of America and Israel, had said recently, or in a video or interview somewhere, saying that Trump is the greatest ally to Israel that they've ever had.
I think President Trump is the greatest friend that Israel has ever had in the White House. I think he's not only making a tremendous change in the Israeli-American alliance, strengthening it beyond anything we've seen up to now. But also he's a great leader for America and for the world. And all of that comes together in this meeting between two great allies, America and Israel. Israel has no better friend than America, not under President Trump's leadership. And America has no greater friend than Israel. And it's a meeting of the minds and hearts.
Which is very telling because they also gave him the most amount of money out of everybody. Just wanted to throw that out there. And they could have the most amount of blackmail, but I don't want to say yet because it allegedly could have some blackmail on him. That could make him say, okay, I'll do what you ask. I'm starting to notice through AIPAC that Israel is getting a lot what they want. They donate so many millions to our politicians, and our politicians side with Israel, especially some key players like people like Mike Huckabee and whatnot. Look at how much money Florida is giving to Israel. Look at the amount of military aid and money that the United States military is freaking giving to Israel. Through the president. And, you know, it's very telling to me as well when I started looking into all these major corporations, right? I started off by looking to these major corporations and how many of them have major ties to Israel. And it's a lot of them. It's a lot of them, whether it be through business investments, whether it be through having personal connections with Benjamin Netanyahu. And I do have a funny point to bring up in a little bit because I thought this was really interesting when Candace Owens said this. So if you heard me say Candace Owens and you know exactly what I'm going to say, then, you know, God bless you. I like you.
God bless you.
But the biggest teller out of all of it, because when you look at the corporations and all their ties, it's crazy. It's a crazy amount of ties and connections to Israel. But you know what's even crazier?
What?
Is the CEO of BlackRock's ties to Benjamin Netanyahu specifically. So, I'm going to blow your mind with this one, okay? They are so close that I'm pretty sure they have phone calls like me and you have. Like, they are so extremely close. You have to wonder why the biggest investment group in all of America has such close ties with Israel, especially Benjamin Netanyahu, right? The way that I see it in this perspective is, and I want to bring something up that if you guys have seen this, I don't know if you guys have seen In Whose Name, the Kanye documentary. But basically, there was a scene in there where Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk were in there. And Candace Owens said something very simple, which I'm pretty sure most people can understand. She said, if you can control the culture, you can control the politics, right? But it seems as though when we look at AIPAC and we look at the close ties to Israel and all of our major corporations, especially the big investment group being BlackRock, you know, it really seems as though that Israel could have a lot of say over what goes on in our media today, because you got to realize BlackRock is not the only investment group that has major ties to Israel. You can look into it. It's really fascinating. And, you know, my take was in the last video that I made was that the people have to take their government back. That we cannot submit to a foreign government and that we have to peacefully run for offices, whether it be mayoral, governor, presidential, whatever it may be, Senate, Congress, we have to run on it. And I also said that we do have to get rid of Congress in a sense. And so, and hold like votes every weekend or so to pass on bills. And I also do have something to add to that too. I do believe that we should not have a party system. I do not believe there should be Republican, Democrat, or any party system. I think that we should vote for people based off of what they're planning on doing for the country, not based off a party. Just throwing that out there. But when getting back to Israel, how much influence does Israel have over our country? I mean, they have the heavy
There's
ties.
a lot of influence, most definitely.
Yeah, they have the heavy ties to control our media. They have the heavy ties to control our politics. You know what the craziest part would be?
What?
Is that if they approached Turning Point USA and wanted to strike up a deal, and Charlie Kirk ended up dead a few weeks later.
Yo, yeah, that's true. That's very true, dude. Bro, that's crazy.
Joseph Goebbels, the Nazi propaganda minister, said that the bigger the lie, the faster it will spread. Well, somebody has fabricated a monstrous big lie that Israel had something to do with Charlie Kirk's horrific murder. This is insane. It is false. It is outrageous. Charlie Kirk was a giant, a once-in-a-century talent who defended freedom, defended America, defended our common Judeo-Christian civilization. Charlie loved Israel. He loved the Jewish people. He told me so in a letter that he sent me just a few months ago. One of my greatest joys as a Christian, he said, is advocating for Israel and forming alliances with Jews to protect Judeo-Christian civilization. He encouraged me to make the case directly to the American people about how vital Israel is to U.S. national security. He told me, the Holy Land is so important to my life, it pains me to see support for Israel slip away. Now, if Charlie disagreed with a policy of mine or a decision here and there, not only did I not mind, I welcomed it. This is the essence of Charlie. This is the essence of a free country. It's exactly what Charlie stood for. And I knew that his suggestions always came from the heart, from his love for Israel and from his love for the Jewish people. A few weeks before his death, I spoke to Charlie. I spoke to Charlie. I spoke to Charlie. I spoke to Charlie. I invited him to visit Israel again. And sadly, that won't happen. Now some are peddling these disgusting rumors, perhaps out of obsession, perhaps with Qatari funding. What I do know is this: Charlie Kirk was a great man, and a great man deserves honor, not lies. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. May your memory be a blessing.
A bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit.
If Bibi Netanyahu, if he does something I don't like, and if I criticize it, am I like a bad Christian?
Absolutely not.
What I find strange is that we're able to criticize the American government sometimes in the Christian world with more freedom than the Israeli government. To be pro-Israel means you believe in the nation of Israel, not necessarily the government of Israel. When Joe Biden was president, you and I we loved America, but we detested our government. And those two things beautifully coexisted.
Yeah, you never once said, "Hey, I'm out on
America."
On
of
America,
course it was the
right?
opposite.
Exactly.
And what they don't want is they don't want to be called bad Christians if they challenge a foreign government, which is what happens so often.
Right.
Like, you're a bad Christian if you have a question about a foreign government.
Right.
That creates backlash that I don't think people understand.
And I want to point this out really quick. So, Charlie Kirk was one of the most influential people in the entirety of the United States. Literally, he influenced the presidential election so much in the young voters and everything to vote for Trump. And he had so much power over the political industry. And imagine how much of a threat that would be if another foreign country is running the American, running America, and they have a variable who basically just said, "Go F yourself, I'm not accepting your money," and publicly started speaking out against that country. How much of a threat is that to everything that you have going on? And would you want that threat out of the way if you were that foreign country?
Yeah. You pretty much have to, right?
Yeah, and I'm going to say allegedly because I couldn't throw proof at you, but everyone knows this. it's funny who took over Turning Point USA afterwards, and how much she loves money. I mean, look at the call. It was only just a few days after Charlie Kirk was shot. She was like, "Our merchandise sales, they're up so much, and we've made all these hundreds of millions of dollars, and we completely sold out at Turning Point USA event."
Yeah.
And you can tell she's happy and everything, and and it's like, who did you take a deal with? You know what I mean? Like my genuine question is, did she take the deal but through like a shell? That's my question, because I do know that Erica Kirk, she could be more controlled by money. I do think she has, and I do have to say allegedly, she's allegedly more controlled by money.
Yeah.
Because, it just, she seems more like the person to be like, hey, I'm going to offer you $100 million for you to say this. And she'll be like, shh, don't gotta ask me twice, buddy. You know what I mean?
Dude, the thing is, like, with Erica Kirk, bro, like, bro, honestly, like, she's been tripping me out the past few months, because it's just, even at the start, like how you were saying, basically, it doesn't feel genuine.
Yeah.
Like, your husband just died, and I get where you're coming from. Like, who'd you take a deal with? Because from what it sounds like, it's like, hey, take this deal with me. The only thing that has to happen is Charlie Kirk has to die. Well, not the only thing that has to happen, but you know what I mean? Part of the deal, Charlie Kirk has to die, but hey, you're going to be the face of Turning Point USA come 2026, So,
yeah. 1 second, I'm trying to find an image on my phone really quick.
And, that's honestly kind of sad if that's how it went, like, we can only say allegedly, bro. And to be honest with you, man, it's just, bro, like, it doesn't feel genuine, and something feels off, and there's something that we don't know, or maybe we do know, but there's something they're not telling the people, for sure.
Uriah.
Yeah. Hold on, my thing's tripping. Yo. Bro.
Ain't that the truth, though?
That's crazy, bro. Blinded by money.
Nah, bro. Like, honestly, I said it from the beginning. Like you were saying, I said it from the beginning. I did not believe that Erica Kirk was authentic. When she got up on stage after he died, it looked very performative. And, that's coming from me who, look, before people get on my butt and say that, oh, I'm not Republican, whatever, look, I voted for Trump. I lean more of an independent mind, though, right? Because I also have an extreme emotional intelligence, because I've been through so much in my life. I know what authentic emotion looks like. I know what authentic emotion looks like.
Yeah, no, for real, me too, I feel you.
The thing is, it's like, I've been around people who have lost people. I understand the grief that comes with losing someone that you love most. And she did not show a single trait of that. She was just basically, my husband, money. It was a great man. Money, though. Yeah. That's basically how
New Mercedes Benz. Benjamins everywhere. Oh, Benjamin, thank you. No.
Benjamin Netanyahu gave me some extra Benjamins.
Yay. No.
Yay. Nah, but
no.
it's very fishy to me that, Israel would have benefited the most by Charlie Kirk being out the way. If what I'm saying here is like completely true, which, to be honest, I genuinely believe it is, you don't have that many ties. Like, what other foreign nation has as many ties as Israel has to the United States and over our economy and corporations and politics? No other country does the way that Israel does. So I 1000% believe what I'm saying, but who would benefit the most, in that situation? Israel and Erica Kirk. because
Yeah.
now Israel would have someone that they could control with money, and Erica Kirk, she's rolling in her hundreds of millions now.
She even
And
got a dream interview. Nicki Minaj. No, I'm kidding.
Charlie
And
Kirk
then
a few months
Nicki's even
before.
saying now that there's something up.
And you have amazing role models like the assassin J.D. Vance, our vice president. And when I say that,
trust me, there's nothing new under the sun that I have not heard, so you're fine.
Yeah, and just a few months before, Charlie Kirk was like, I don't think Nicki Minaj is a good influence over young black women.
Yeah.
And he was saying that next thing you know.
He said, well, he probably said it in that in another video, but he was also saying just young women in general. I don't think Nicki Minaj is like the best role model for a young woman. And the whole thing with Turning Point USA was just showing just, like a role model for America type of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, Nicki Minaj. I don't think that's a good role model for 18-year-old black girls. I don't.
A few moments later.
And like it's not like I hate Nicki Minaj, right? Like shoot, dude, with my family, I grew up on that, dude. I'm not gonna lie.
Big ain't and they ain't saying nothing. 100 mother can't tell me nothing. I bees in the trap, bees in the trap. I bees in the trap, bees in the trap.
Exactly, bro. Yeah, dude. No, I know a lot of Nicki Minaj music because of that, and shoot, man, it's just when it comes to morality though, and what you want your kids to listen to, like, for example, like Cardi B. She says she doesn't let her, I think it's a daughter. I think she had a daughter. But she doesn't let her kid, we'll just say that, listen to music, any of her music especially. Like, she doesn't let her own daughter listen to it. And the whole reason is because she doesn't want her all caught up in the agenda. That's just it.
Yeah, and that's honestly fair. And it's like the truth is about like a lot of the industry and stuff is that, if you... Because the thing is, the industry is very unforgiving. If you start up with a certain way, they want you to continue with that image. But, as we've seen in the past, true great artistry comes from letting the artist be the artist, right? And not everyone will pan out in the exact way, will stand the test of time, but that's okay. As long as... Because the system should be set up that you have the artist with longevity, right? Like, for example, that would be someone like Michael Jackson. That would be someone like Kanye. Like, people like that, right? Then the people who should basically come around every once in a while and have a good project here or a good project there would be these kind of rappers like Nicki Minaj or like Lil Baby or someone like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when they come around, they'll do good, but you gotta let them pan out and do their own artistry kind of thing.
Yeah, no, most definitely, bro.
And like with me, like I've been looking to get like my big record deal soon. Like, I'm really hoping I can. But the one thing that I'm going to say is a deal breaker is that if you do not let me have creative control, like, that's where it's going to be an issue. Because look, I really want to sign under like Gamma or something, but I don't want my music to be controlled. I want to be able to have access over to my own artistry. And yeah,
I don't know if that's possible, bro. I'm gonna be honest, because every label, it's like they have their own agenda. I've noticed that, like they all do, and I mean, they be wanting you to make certain type of music, and if you're not, like, they be tripping basically. Yeah. But I don't know. Maybe there's labels like that, because I remember even Tupac. He made a song, or actually, I think it's a whole album. I'm a little. Puzzled there. No, I'm kidding. But it's called Ghetto Gospel, bro. And in that, dude, he talks about God, dude. And like, I don't know if you've seen the All Eyes on Me movie. Not saying it's accurate, everyone. Not saying it's completely accurate, because it's not. But before he died, he's talking to Suge, and he starts playing ghetto gospel, and he's and Suge's like, nah, turn that, turn that crap off, and
Yeah.
Tupac was just like, nah, you need some ghetto gospel in your life, and yeah, what I'm saying is basically, what if you could have creative control? I mean, I don't know if you could, but
Yeah, that's non-negotiable for me. Like, I have to have creative control. You have to allow me to do my thing. I'm not going to be a slave under a label kind of thing, But
yeah, true. I think Pac had it. Hold on. I think Pac had creative control to an extent, but not fully, because he had to stick with like the whole freaking gangster rap stuff. Like, he just had to keep the niche, pretty much. But yeah,
I kind of want to go back to something, because I did have a point with a lot of this stuff, and I think a lot of like what we were just talking about, even with the music industry stuff, is going to tie back to this exact point. But a point that I wanted to make about the whole Israel and Erica Kirk stuff is that a lot with what we have to do now is we have to stop trusting, and we have to start turning our backs on our government, on our politics, on the people that we hold in high regard, because it reminds me of when Jesus was flipping over the tables and stuff. And what it reminds me of was when he said, "Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees." He said something like, "You're like whitewashed tombs that outwardly appear beautiful, but on the inside, you're full of dead people's bones." That's what it reminds me of. Because, it's like honestly, I can't say for certain, like, I can't say it's a factual statement because there's not enough evidence, but I personally believe myself, it's my personal belief. It's not something I'm asking the world to believe. It's something that I want people to look into, to investigate themselves, so that we can come to a determination whether it's true or false. Is that I think Erica Kirk had foreknowledge about Charlie being assassinated, and I think she allowed it to happen because she wanted the money, and she was easier to control for Israel.
Yeah.
And that's my personal belief. I'm not saying it's true. I want people to look into it themselves and see what their thoughts are about it. But that's my personal belief, and that's the belief that I'm going to stand by.
Hey man, for all we know, she could be innocent. I don't know, man. It's just what it looks like, right?
She could be
innocent.
innocent.
It's just what it seems like, dude.
And so,
if it's not what it seems, then God bless. I hope.
So I just want to say this really quick, because I'm going to pull up my screen here. If we are going to be turning our backs on politics, on our politicians, on the people we hold in high regard, where do we turn to? Where do we turn to? It has to be Jesus, right?
I was just about to be like, no, the little cross, bro. Yeah, no, you got to turn to Jesus. Now, keep one thing in mind when we're doing that, all right? Because, I mean, okay, wait. I should ask you, what exactly do you mean? Like, basically, like, going against the government and everything, like the system in a way. Just so I know which way to go.
What I mean
talk about
is we have to prove by no longer serving the agendas of our politicians. Like, what I mean by that is, like, each side of the aisle, right? Like, Republicans, Democrats, they want to push their own agendas. Even our presidents want to. What I say by we have to turn our backs on the government is when something is morally wrong that we're doing, we have to fight for change. And I'm not saying to get violent. I'm saying to protest, to peacefully. And I can't make this clear enough. Peacefully protest.
Amen.
I'm cutting that out. I know. You're trying to get us in jail, bro? Come on. Think critically here. Think critically.
Okay.
Okay. But I was talking to God about this, and the only way that the system can be torn down is by the removal of Congress, is by the power being given back to the people. But what we're not really understanding at this point in time is that if my theory is true about Israel having control over our country, we don't have the right to, like, we don't have the right to make the change in this country. The power isn't left up to us. It's left up to the American Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. That's who it's left up to. Ah! Yo, suck my toes.
No, hell no. Oh, hell no.
So just an update for the podcast. Because he's in his car and he didn't turn his car on, his car battery died. And so his face is going to be like completely blacked out. Like you are not going to see him for the rest of this podcast. And I apologize about that. So anyways, let's get back to it. Oh, I didn't talk about something. I forgot. Because I forgot to tie this all back to Epstein.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to bring my screen up. So one thing I forgot to talk about was this whole thing with Jeffrey Epstein. I completely put it out of my mind. I got distracted by it. This is where we were supposed to go with this in the first place. So, as I'm pretty sure everyone and their mother knows, Jeffrey Epstein was working for foreign intelligence. He was 1,000% working for foreign intelligence.
No.
No, I mean, I guess by technicality we should say allegedly, right? But it's basically it's basically like, come on, it's there. It's all right in front of our faces. The files are right there. Like you know what I mean? The files are right there. Look into this stuff.
Bro, there's so much too.
Bro was foreign intelligence, 1,000%.
Yeah.
But now we got a question. Who was that foreign intelligence to?
Yeah, for real.
Mossad? Whoa, freaking Idaho, baby.
That's crazy.
Freaking Idaho, baby, yeah. But the big question is, like really getting serious though. Mm-hmm. Who did Jeffrey Epstein work for? Who was because it's kind of known that he's intelligence. But no, I genuinely want to know, like, what countries did Epstein work for? Like, was he Mossad? Did he work for Russia? Who did he work for? That's what I want to know. Because if he worked for Israeli intelligence and we have Israel controlling our politics, basically, bro, he has the blackmail on basically every president that has been around since the 2000s. Like he would have stuff on the Clintons, he would have stuff on the Obamas, the Trumps. So like a part of me is one, bro. What did he have on Trump? If he was Israeli intelligence, what does Israel have on Trump? And is that why they're so close?
Yeah, but no, bro.
And why aren't everyone who was involved with him in jail?
Wait, what's up?
And why isn't everyone who was involved with Jeffrey Epstein in jail?
Money?
Yeah, that's my lucky guess. I think at least there should be an investigation whether the people are dead or alive. Like look, I know for an example, like for someone like Michael Jackson who was in the files, right? Like when you look at him, what was the context around there? So when there was a photo with him with Bill Clinton and some kids were there and Diana Ross was there, but what was the context of that situation? It was some charity like performative event he had for whatever, and those were his kids and Diana Ross's kids, right? And people get that mixed up because they're like, oh, what's Michael Jackson doing with those kids, right? And then, but it was his kids. It was his kids.
Michael Jackson?
Yeah.
Kids? Epstein files? Like, bro.
No, because because it's all about the rumors about MJ throughout his life that he was into that stuff, and I'm not gonna get into it like really
Dude,
deep.
that dude, well, no, we won't get into it, but real quick, y'all, MJ was helping
completely innocent. Because
Dude,
that photo that they used in the Epstein files to try to frame him was literally just a charity event. Those were his kids and Diana Ross's kids. And Bill Clinton just happened to be there. Now, there was a picture with Michael Jackson and Jeffrey Epstein, right? And what was that? That was what was it? I think it was Palm Springs thing where it was like a big real estate meeting, and he had taken photos with like everybody there, with all the different people who were selling their homes and everything, because that's what he did. If someone was a fan of his, he took pictures with them. It just so happened that freaking Jeffrey Epstein wanted a picture with Michael Jackson. There you go. So it's not like he really went to the island.
Yeah, exactly.
But my point is like, while not everyone is guilty in those files, there should at least be an investigation to prove their innocence or to prove their guilt. And I think yes, there should be an investigation into Trump. I think there should be an investigation into the Clintons. There should be an investigation into Michael Jackson. There should be an investigation into Chris Tucker. All these people who were in the files.
Yeah,
like
Chris Tucker's in the files?
He's in the files, bro. I can't make this up.
What?
Chris Tucker is in the files. And look,
Chris Tucker.
I do not know what his relationship was to Jeffrey Epstein, so I cannot speak on that. But he was in the files.
Bro.
There should be an investigation into everyone, though, whether innocent or guilty. There needs to be a way to prove people's innocence, to prove their guilt, everything. And I think the greatest place to start is not just with, Prince Andrews, because Prince Andrews, he got arrested because, he was in the files and had all this misconduct going on. He didn't even get arrested on, or investigated on any, like pedophilia stuff or anything. But it was misconduct while he held a position of power. That's what he was arrested for. Now we look at Bill and Hillary Clinton, right? They're going out on a tangent saying, we didn't even know Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah, bro, there's photos of you guys together. Hillary Clinton knew Ghislaine Maxwell, was at her daughter's wedding, everything. Freaking Bill Clinton was on Epstein Island more than once. Like, he was so tied to Epstein, it's insane. And, so, look, the Clintons is a good place to start. But the problem is I feel as though that there's some political bias there as well, with saying, hey, look, we're going to investigate the Clintons first, because what about all these claims about Donald and Eric Trump doing stuff to women in the files? Like, they had these court hearings and stuff, but they just said, oh no, that's not true. But they just wiped it out, said there's not enough evidence. That's also something like, hey, they could have been paid off like a ton of money. It's the Trumps. There needs to be a proper investigation around the people who were tied to Jeffrey Epstein. And I think the biggest thing is we need to all pray and ask God to take care of this whole situation, because it's not right that we should have people who were tied to someone who could do something that criminal and possibly have done that level of criminal stuff, hold positions of power in our country.
Facts, bro. You should run investigations on everyone in the files, and yeah, bro, and give everyone a chance to prove their innocence, or show that they're guilty.
Yeah, absolutely. So moving on, right, from this whole dark topic, that was very dark, very gross, whatever, right?
Yeah.
What was your thoughts about the Denver Nuggets game versus Celtics?
Bro, my thoughts on the Denver Nuggets game versus the Celtics, bro. I honestly thought that it should have been closer. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I want the Nuggets to win, But I was just like, dang, bro. I was like, we're for real freaking bro. Bro, I'm sorry to put it like this, bro, but we whooped y'all, bro. Towards the
No,
end,
you
dude.
did. You did. It was definitely in the fourth quarter, like, we basically threw in the towel. You know, like we sent Ron Harper Jr. and frickin' Delano Banton in at a certain point. I'm pretty sure Delano Banton's on a 10-day contract.
Yeah. Dude, no, that's crazy, bro. I did not even know that, man.
Yeah, so what do you think, well, like let's talk about Boston here. What was your biggest criticisms about Boston in this game?
Same criticisms you have, dude. That 3-point shot, man.
That 3-point shot, they cannot stay consistent from the three. So look, I'm an avid Celtics watcher. As you can see, I am wearing a Sixers hat right now, but you know, that's no disrespect to the Celtics. I have a Celtics poster up over there. But frickin', it's behind the thing right there. But yeah, like frickin', I'm a big Celtics fan. I watch the Celtics a lot. The one thing that has gotten us in trouble a lot, not even just this year, but last year as well, was that we just believed that somehow the 3-point shot's going to work every single time. Like, there's no dynamic between, like, okay, look, if it's a big guy, we should be shooting from three, but if it's a bigger guy on a smaller guy, we should be cutting to the basket kind of thing. It doesn't feel like that dynamic is there. And it feels like even when the Celtics do kind of rush to the basket a little bit, they get pushed around so easily. Like, there's no toughness, there's no grittiness to the Celtics. And so I think going up against a team like Denver, which is more of like a feed the post kind of team, like I think the problem with that is like you're gonna get bullied, especially when you have Jokic on the team, you know, big guy, what's he, like 6'10", like freaking 300 pounds or something like that, like 350 or something. Like, the guy's a big guy. And he's going to bully you, especially when you have no center and your centers are trying to hit threes.
Yeah. It's just like, dude, bro. Just play the big man role, dude. Hey, that's what Jokic messed up on even, sorry to switch, but even today, like against OKC, bro. Dude kept going for the threes over and over and over again. And Denver, they kept doing that. Like they were going to win just doing threes. We were only down by 2. And the ball was going back and forth, back and forth. We kept blocking freaking OKC. And, you know, we kept doing we had good defense, basically. But then our offense was bad because we did that same thing. So I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But, yeah, hold on real quick. Back to the other game, though. Yeah, if y'all let a freaking just went for the paint, just once in a while, man. Just once in a while. Hey. It would have been a closer game because, like, I think that's what's holding you guys back from honestly winning against Denver this year. And it's just like, damn.
The thing is like, the Celtics should be like, so when we talk about the Celtics, right, what I notice is that Jaylen Brown should be cutting to the basket way more. Like, way more. He should be trying to get inside. He should be trying to get his dunks up. He should be working on his vertical a lot more and on his strength.
You got guys jumping over Taco. Aaron Gordon jumped over Taco Fall. Matt McClung jumped over Shaq. Jaylen Brown jumped over Cassinet in a seat. What am I supposed to do with that, Stephen A? The man's already 3 foot tall. You put him in a chair 91.5.
Because he can get pushed around and bullied so easily. He has to work on his dribble as well, because he will keep losing the ball off the dribble. The problem with Jaylen Brown is his, like, he can lose the ball. It's not that people can poke the ball away from him, but it's he can't keep the dribble alive. When he's going to the basket, he can lose the ball so easily, like hit it off his foot or something like that, and he'll lose the ball. And he's trying to focus on getting through while also trying not to hit the ball off his foot, which when he's really trying to push, most of the time he's going to hit the ball off his foot, right? Or what he's going to do, because he can't get to the basket, he's going to try to step back, go up and hit a mid-range, right? Like a fadeaway mid-range. And how that usually goes is like he's kind of 50-50 with it, right? And he either hits him or he doesn't hit him. The most consistent player on the team has to be Peyton Pritchard, who's coming off the bench as a sixth man right now. Peyton Pritchard, he plays absolutely perfectly for what he does. When he's the most consistent, he plays the best out of any player. And honestly, with the Celtics, I think that they need to run their offense through him and not through Brown. And I think that Brown needs to he needs to accept the fact that, well, yes, he can put up 30 points per night. Yes, he could be in the MVP races. He still has to submit to another person's offense. He cannot run an offense by himself. And I think, the guy who should be bringing up the ball and facilitating the ball needs to be Peyton Pritchard. It needs to be Derek White. It needs to be those guards, right? You need to keep someone like Keita inside, ready to bully his way to the basket. Someone like Vucevic, we shouldn't even have Vucevic on the team. Like we should have kept Anthony Simons to keep that shooting alive. Or even if you wanted to trade him anyways, you should have gone after Nicholas Claxton or somebody, because we really need someone who knows how to defend perfectly, who could start on that starting lineup. We need someone who could defend these big guys like Jokic, Embiid, freaking Alperen Sengun. We need the people who are going to defend Anthony Davis, who are going to defend Alexander Sarr. Those are the people that we need. So we would need someone like Nicholas Claxton to kind of help fill that role. But instead we got Vucevic, who literally is just an older version of Luka Garza. Right? It doesn't make sense to me, because Luka Garza has been playing that position so perfectly. He's more of a forward than a center, if you ask me. Right? But Luka Garza has played his position so perfectly. If you would have gotten a guy like Claxton on the team, you still could have played Garza some pretty solid minutes, have him play the forward position, be kind of the inside scorer, while you have Claxton defending people like Jokic. Peyton Pritchard could be lighting it up for three, facilitating the ball. Brown could be cutting to the basket, going off the pick and rolls. The thing is bro has to move faster too. He has to go faster. He kind of moves slow when he's taking the pick and rolls. And they're very patient with their offense. And they really need to start moving more fast-paced, because the few games that we had to move fast-paced, yes, we were absolutely winded, maybe by the third or fourth quarter. But that's completely fine. That's how basketball is supposed to be played, with complete grit, with complete hard work and everything. And with someone like Tatum coming back, right, where the dynamic gets interesting is, I think he should be playing more of a guard position, if you ask me. More of someone who can, he's more of a 3-level guy. He can get inside to the basket. He can play the mid-range. He can play the 3-point line. He can facilitate the ball. He's the guy that you run the offense through, right? He's the guy who you can rely on to drop 40 points in a single game and be completely happy with it, right? Sometimes, he has the silent games where he'll score 30. But that's the greatest part to Jason Tatum, is he can score 30 while making it seem like he only scored 10, right? And that's what I like about him, because he's not flashy. He's not trying to be like, hey, look at me, I'm better than Luka Doncic, I'm better than LeBron James, even though by comparison, Jason Tatum is far better than a lot of these other players that are out here. Even people that we revere, like Anthony Edwards, and freaking I'm gonna go out on a limb and say he's even better than freaking Kawhi Leonard, or how LeBron James has been playing the last few years. I think Jason Tatum's far better than LeBron right now. If you ask me, when he comes back, I think if he plays against LeBron, he's going to be far better than LeBron is. Jason Tatum is one of the top players in the NBA. If you're going to run the offense through him, good, I'm happy with that. But right now, with this situation that we're in, we need to learn how to adjust. We need to have Jordan Walsh be playing more minutes, because he's one of the greatest defenders in the NBA right now. He had to freaking guard Victor Wembanyama and did it successfully, mind you. This guy, he might only be 6'7", and he has a long wingspan.
6'7".
6'7". But anyways, he was freaking putting the block on Victor Wembanyama. Like he was turning him into a 2-year-old when they were playing against each other. Jordan Walsh is one of the best defenders. He should either be getting more minutes or he should be getting a starting position, because when he starts, the Celtics win. So when we're talking about a game like Denver, right? When we're talking about Jordan Walsh, he shouldn't be shooting 3-pointers. He needs to cut to the basket. He's the kind of guy. He's lengthy. That's what literally my nickname for him is the Alien, because he's like a stereotypical alien. He's like, you know what I mean? He's got the long arms, the long legs. He's extremely skinny, and bro, just give it to him. He looks like an alien, bro. And so, like I don't mean that no harm or disrespect, but that's my nickname for him is the Alien. So, he's the best defender in the NBA out of everyone right now. You got to give him more of a starting position, and that you have to also make it clear, like, this guy, he needs to cut to the basket. He needs to start playing on the mid-range and in the paint. He can take the occasional 3-pointer, but, we have so many guys like Hugo Gonzalez. Like, Hugo Gonzalez, he's one of the best players for the Celtics right now. Young guy, but, he's literally younger than I am. He's younger than I am. And he's in the freaking NBA, and he's one of the best players on the Celtics right now. He plays like Marcus Smart did when he was with us. He may not be the most efficient player. Sometimes it looks like he's just running around out there. But the truth be told is, like, he is a high impact player. He's always where he needs to be when the game matters the most. He's always doing the right thing when the game matters the most. What my point is about getting into all of these different guys for the Celtics is that the Celtics, like, the coach has to realize that not everything is 3-pointers, right? Take the 3-pointers when they matter, but start playing to the players' skills. Start playing to how they actually are. And just another thing about, I gotta say about the coach really quick, is stop sucking up to Jaylen Brown and allowing him to do whatever he wants to do. He's a player, you're the coach, you're not supposed to have a personal relationship with him outside of the team unless if it's the off season or something. You're not supposed to have close friendships between... This is literally the best example I could use. Imagine how weird it would be to have a teacher and a student be close outside of school. It's not supposed to be like that.
I don't see too much of a problem with it.
It's professionalism. That's
professionalism, but
like look, if the teacher's close to the parents, like that's one thing, right? But like I don't want to get too much into that, but it's more
like NBA and like just I get it's professional, but they're also both adults too, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, but it's more of a professional thing that, a coach should not be favoring one player more than another, and he should not be, just because he has a close friendship. Like, look, I'm not gonna lie, dude. If I was coaching you on a basketball team, I would be on your ass. Like, because, and I know you'd be the same exact way, because just cause we're friends does not mean that I'm going to treat you any differently than how I'm going to treat the guy coming off the end of the bench, right?
Oh, so you're just like talking about like he's like taking it kind of easier on him type of thing.
He's taking it easy on him. He's allowing him to do whatever he wants to do. You cannot do that as the coach. Just because you are friends with him, just because you're close with him, you like him, does not mean that you can give him a get out of jail free card when he loses the ball. I need you to be yelling at him, being like, what the heck are you doing out there?
I see what you mean. Different sport real quick. So, I'm saying football. I can't even see my freaking thing. But, so Bo Nix and Sean Payton. So Bo Nix is the quarterback of the Denver Broncos. Sean Payton is the coach of the Denver Broncos. They've had a close relationship since Bo Nix was in college. And, like, it's like now they're, like, on the same team. Like, it's crazy. And I know Bo Nix just got drafted, like, literally 2 years ago. But still. But my thing is that it's different. because, dude, he's doing what you just said. If you were coaching me, you'd be having me freaking basically running laps and stuff. You wouldn't be taking it easy on me. And the same goes for you too.
Yeah.
And that's like the Sean Payton and like Bo Nix sort of deal. Now, hey, in the situation you're talking about, bro, yeah, that's a little bit different. I see what you mean, bro. That's just like, you're the homeboy, bro. Go ahead and just go and smoke a blunt. No, that's basically what he's doing, though, bro. He's just like, you know what I'm saying? Just like, do what you want, dog. It's cool.
Yeah, no, because like the thing
I'm
is,
joking.
That's why the Celtics lost to Denver was because the coach doesn't know how to discipline the players. He lets them do whatever they want to do, and he says run the 3-pointers, run the 3-pointers. He doesn't discipline the players. He lets them do their own thing. Like, look, I understand from one perspective. Look, it's a good thing to definitely, let the players figure it out for themselves out on the floor.
Yeah, most definitely.
But you also have to realize at a certain time they need direction as well. Not just set plays. They need a coach's direction. And honestly, I think, look, I like Joe Mazzulla, but this guy was the assistant head coach beforehand. Yes, he can run a good offense, but he can't run a good defense, and sometimes his offense just sucks. And the thing is like, people talk about it so much where they're like, no, I wouldn't fire Joe Mazzulla. He keeps winning championships. The thing is, it's not Joe Mazzulla that wins the championships. It's the team that wins the championships. And look, you could have another coach walk through the door, right? You could have another coach walk through the door, right? Like, I don't care if it's Tom Thibodeau. Look, I would love to have Tom Thibodeau back on the team. He was here, 2008? Actually, fun fact, Tom Thibodeau, he coached at the local college in Salem State University, because people don't know, if you guys don't know this, I live near Salem, Massachusetts, and he used to coach at Salem State University. And Rick Brunson, which is Jalen Brunson's dad, used to play with my great-grandfather at the YMCA. So, small world.
Dude, that's cool. My bad.
Yeah, no, that is cool, but no, like, anyways, getting back to, everything though, is that the Celtics, like, it's the organization that won the championships, because Brad Stevens knows how to put the right people into place. But the one thing that I don't like about Brad Stevens in the sense is that he won't put the coach in his place. I think he does kind of hold some kind of level to him where he's like, look, you got to be playing these players, you got to be developing them. But I think the problem is that I just, while I like Joe Mazzulla, I do not think he's a good coach in the sense of offense. I think he knows how to level with the players. I think he knows how to motivate the players. I think he definitely has this military general thing about him, and I respect that. You know what I mean? I heavily respect that. But I do not respect him when it comes to an offensive standpoint. I do not respect him when it comes to defense. I don't even think he knows how to coach defense. I'm going to be real with you. I do not think he knows how to coach defense. I genuinely believe the only reason we won in 2024 was because our assistant head coach was Charles Lee, who's a great defensive coach. And I think we would have won last year as well if he was still here and they didn't put in Sam Cassell. Honestly, I would love to see Tom Thibodeau take up some kind of coaching position, whether it be head or assistant. I don't know if he'd be willing to accept an assistant position. As long as they give him the big bucks, I'm pretty sure he just doesn't care. But to have the defensive presence of like Tom Thibodeau, you run a good offense. If Joe Mazzulla can just check his offense a little bit, I think when it comes to playing games against Denver, I think, like if Thibodeau was there and freaking Joe Mazzulla got his stuff together, I think we would have won that game against you. Because I think he needs to understand that every player has their own individual skill set, and he has to play to them and not try to make it his thing, because that's what he does. He makes it his thing, not the team's thing.
Yeah.
But, yeah. What's your thoughts?
Shoot, man. Hold on. I'm gonna go off of what you were saying right there, real quick. No, I think if it was set up that way, honestly, you guys might have won that game.
Absolutely.
I don't know, bro. You got Superman Jokic up in there, dude. I mean, that dude. I don't know, man. You don't even gotta try.
But
Dude,
I do have to remind you something when it comes to Jokic though. When Nemias Queta, when he locked in, right? Like when Jokic spun off him, because I know you remember seeing this. They were by the like the right side of the basket, depending on how you look at the court, right? So if you're looking at it from like the back end, he's on the right side. He's on the left side if you're looking at it from like running up the floor kind of thing. So I'll say from running up the floor kind of thing. He was on the left side of the basket. Jokic was there. Queta was on him, and he spun off of him and got the easy layup. Right after that, exactly after that, he tried running the play again, but on the right side. And instead of him allowing him to just do the easy spin, he stuck his foot out and moved his body over so that he couldn't get the easy spin. He stepped back, moved his body over so he couldn't get the easy spin. And basically, he prevented Jokic from scoring. I think Queta could be a great defensive player on someone like Jokic. I don't know if I heard this correctly, but I think it was if we were to pick up Clint Capella, that would also be a good Jokic guarder as well. I heard that from someone. I don't know if that's true or not though, because I don't know his stats on Jokic. But I think if you were to lock in that system though.
Clint Capella's alright. Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you were to lock in that system though, where it's like, okay, we're running through, this kind of defense, this kind of offense, I think it would be a much better team. I think we would have actually won that game, and honestly, I think we would have had a much higher record, like 60 to almost 70 games around there. I think we would have if that was our coaching deal. But I think the problem is I don't think they want to spend the money. I think they don't want to allocate the money to the coaching staff, even though the coaching staff is the most important thing. They're like, hey, look, we'll keep Joe Mazzulla around because, Joe Mazzulla, like, he's, we can control him a little bit more, like, if we need to. Like, honestly, I think if we had someone like Tyrone Lue, that would be the best thing. Like, if we had Tyrone Lue and freaking Tom Thibodeau, that would be easy championship right there.
Yo, Gabe, if you're watching this, hit up your cousin and tell him, go to Boston, bro. Go to Boston.
And, bro, like, even, I think, like, the craziest part, too, is I think, honestly, if, someone like Chauncey Billups, right? If, like, Chauncey Billups wasn't in this legal trouble, he would also be someone that I'd be like, yeah, he could be a pretty solid Celtics coach.
Gabriel, once again, go tell your other cousin.
How is he related to all these coaches? How?
Bro, those are like his two cousins, bro.
Bro, I need to meet Gabriel. How does he know all these people?
Bro, that's crazy, bro. You just brought up like the two main ones, dude.
Bro, it's like, freaking Chauncey Billups. Like, Chauncey Billups, he would be a solid coach for Boston. As long as, like, you at least, like, brought someone like Charles Lee back to be the assistant. Right? Dude. Like, I think Chauncey Billups could be good. I think if Joe Mazzulla just cleaned up his offense a little bit more, he could be good too. But honestly, I think partly to blame on that as well on the offense is Sam Cassell as well. I think he's partly to blame on that. But, I mean...
What's up?
I was just going to ask you, I talked in great detail about my team. Like, what's some stuff that you wish to see out of your team?
Bro, you know what I need to see out of my team?
What's up?
Stop being so freaking hard-headed, dude, in the sense of, like, it's similar to yours, dude, but they go for threes just as often as they go for twos, right? Yeah. But the thing is, dude, they're not consistent. I mean, unless it's Jamal Murray in the fourth quarter, about like a minute left, then he'll start freaking cooking up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they're not consistent. And what Jokic needs to work on, bro, is just being good in the clutch, dude. He's not been good in the clutch, bro.
Yeah.
As a and even it showed earlier tonight too. This dude shot 3 threes, and he missed all 3 of them. I haven't seen Jokic do that in a very long time, dude.
Yeah.
And it got bad to where he started relying on just doing it like Shaq. You know, you just big body him in the paint. You know, that's all it was. You know, that's what he had to rely on in the fourth quarter, and it was like, dude, that's crazy. But he wouldn't even rely on that until they gave up trying to shoot threes on OKC. I was like, bro, what are y'all doing right now?
Bro, for real.
Hey, man, I don't know what's going on, bro. But he didn't want to be around them, bro, in that last timeout. Nah. He was sitting all alone. Like, he was just locked in because he just made 2 threes back-to-back. And then OKC took a timeout or no, Denver, my bad. And, yeah, Jamal Murray just looked freaking just depressed, dude. He was just like, he looked locked in, but he was also just looking at everyone else just like, he looked pissed off.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I think there's a lot going on with the Nuggets right now, and it's very complicated, and there's a lot of high emotions. I could just see that going on right now. Not trying to sound like a liberal.
So basically, like, you're saying, like, they're lacking a lot of team chemistry right now.
That's what it seems like. Yeah, they're off. Like, yeah, they know how to do set plays. They know how to do all that, but dude, the team chemistry, yeah, it got to get pulled back together a little bit. And, I mean, even going into that last play, dude, like, they could have been more prepared. Him and Jokic could have
Yeah. And, like, I think that's the same issue, like, right now with the Lakers as well. Like, it's like LeBron and Luka, they're having horrible chemistry with each other right now. Like, what was it, when they lost to, what was it, the Celtics the other day? Because they lost to, because I know they lost to the Celtics, but I think it was another team they lost to. Was it Dallas or someone? They started pointing fingers at each other afterwards. They were like, no, it's his fault, you know? And honestly, like when it came to the Celtics loss, they both look like 2-year-olds. Like Luka Doncic, like, you know, I was kind of expecting him to go for like 40, right? He had 25. Jaylen Brown kept poking the ball away, everything. So the thing that I'm noticing about like when we say like Luka Doncic, I think the problem is I think he's just so frustrated, and I think he's lacking the chemistry. I think he's frustrated because, I mean, the situation he walked into was like, hey, look, I'm walking into LeBron's team right now, and I'm trying to make this my team. But the problem is it's still LeBron's team while he's trying to make it his team. And LeBron, because it's his team still, he's like, I don't think he's adjusting to the fact that he has to step down as the second option.
Hey, bro. You team with Thanos, what's gonna happen, bro? Like, that's just it. That's the Thanos James for a reason.
Thanos James. I mean,
bro, like, you can't make Thanos James second fiddle. Like, that ain't gonna happen right there, man.
Honestly, I'm really wondering, like, when it's time for him to hang it up. You know what I mean? The guy's 40, like, what? He's gonna be like 41 soon, isn't he? Or he's like 40 years old right now. How much longer can you keep playing basketball?
Hey, man. I mean, his son in the NBA, I think he might just stay there for a little while.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Honestly, actually, I was talking to my great grandfather about this. I was saying that I would actually really like to see Bronny come to the Celtics because I think Bronny on the Celtics could be like, he could be a great developmental guy. Like, because I could see him really developing into an all-star, but he needs to be under the right guidance, and the Celtics have been so good with taking potential and bringing it to its peak.
Building it, yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, like, going back to Denver, though, I think you're absolutely right. I think the team chemistry is messed up, and honestly, I think that a lot of it is because Jokic, he just wants to win. You know what I mean? And I think that everyone around him is like, you know, I don't think they have the exact same mindset, or even if they do, they're pointing fingers at each other mentally. Like, they're not actually being like the Spider-Man meme. I think they're all mentally pointing fingers at each other. Like, I'm sure at a point in time in Jokic's head, he was like, this guy Jamal Murray, what the fuck is he doing? You know what I mean? Like, I'm very convinced that went through his mind at one point, or like, what the heck is Christian Brown doing, bro? Like what are they doing here, bro? Like, and I think like. I think it also messes up the chemistry as well, like when you blame yourself for a lot of things too. And I think like you were saying, going 0 for 3, like I would be looking at myself taking a hard check, being like, you know, but also at the same time, like you were saying, like instead he started bullying his way into the paint and everything. If he's bullying his way into the paint, you know, he's really trying to readjust his offense based off of everything that's going on around him. So I could see mentally him being like, well, I'm changing my style here to make sure we can win. Why aren't these other guys doing it?
Yeah, no, exactly, dude. That's pretty much it. It's just, well, that's it when it comes to Jokic, really. Besides that,
I have a genuine question about Jokic. Do you think that they're going to like rebuild the team around him, or do you think that he might ever walk in free agency?
Dude, I'm gonna be honest with you. I see that dude retiring and going back to Serbia before he does that, bro.
Yeah.
I don't cares.
Yeah.
Like, I'm serious with you, bro. I don't think he cares, man.
I mean, weren't they literally gonna like let him go into free agency so they can sign him on an $80 million a year deal?
Yo, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah, I heard something about like there was a conversation going around the internet at one point that like that was going on.
Yeah, no, that's wild, bro. Dude, bro, if that happens, that's crazy. Jokic, though, bro. Nah, I don't think he will. I think he's gonna stay in Denver, bro. He's gonna try to Giannis it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like he's gonna try to savor his time there. But okay, so I'm at 14% battery right now, so 13%. So I have time to move on to maybe one more topic if you want to move on to something. I have an idea of a topic we can move on to. It's something that I know we're both looking forward to coming out this year. And
yo, is it the topic I'm thinking of, bro? I was just about to get on that topic, bro. We're on the same time right now.
Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah, Avengers Doomsday, exactly,
Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah, I was gonna talk about Bad Bunny and like the whole concert. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. No. Yeah, Avengers Doomsday. Yeah. Dude, bro, I need to watch Fantastic Four. I still do. I haven't been on the timing lately, not gonna lie. But besides that, hey man, for y'all that don't know, he got me on the whole freaking WandaVision thing, and we got into Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, and then Agatha. It was freaking crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I was on like a whole journey with it, dude. Now it's like, dude, I'm over here thinking outside the box on things. Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
See, bro, I haven't freaking watched no Fantastic Four in a very long time. So I'm very forward to it. And then I'm trying to watch Daredevil as well, bro. That's something I've been wanting to watch, dude.
Yeah.
Batman and now, shoot. I know I'm going to be stuck on it, though.
Yeah, it's a very binge-worthy show.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, should I start it yet or should I not? And
yeah, absolutely. Go ahead. Like watch through the series, because you know, like the thing about like Daredevil is he's gonna play so much more of an important role, especially this year. Like I know the actor kind of slipped up. He said he is gonna be making some cameos this year, which probably means he's gonna be in Spider-Man, might be in Doomsday. So he is kind of an important character to catch up on. I would say.
Sure.
The two most important things that you need to catch up on, though, is definitely like the Thunderbolts projects and stuff, because like I think to give you like a little bit of backstory, you should probably watch through like Black Widow. It's not really important. it's just introducing a new character, two new characters, kind of giving you their chemistry and stuff, and then like have you seen Hawkeye?
I have not seen Hawkeye. No.
That's not really an important watch, but it's
I think I remember bits and pieces, man. So I'm gonna rewatch. Let's just say that, like, I'm just gonna rewatch.
Yeah, it's not really an important watch. It's just really just to set up the idea of a new Hawkeye coming in, and just some conflict going on between one of the characters from Black Widow and Hawkeye. But honestly, like, I just kind of want to get you set up to watch something like the Thunderbolts. Like, I've sent you a few clips of, like, the Void and stuff on TikTok, and how, like, interesting it looks, just to kind of get you hooked in a little bit. So I think, honestly, like, watching the Thunderbolts stuff, watching the Fantastic Four, and maybe getting into Moon Knight a little bit could be some very important pieces going into Doomsday. I know you haven't seen my last video, so I'm basically going to, like, summarize it, break it down for you. Yeah. And, for the audience that's watching this, like, if you haven't seen my last video, I hope you guys can follow me here. This is a long, complex theory, 6-7. I hope you guys can follow me, though, as we get into this theory, because it's a lot to do with different timeline stuff. Okay, so to get into it, okay, we start off with the story of Captain America. Captain America, he's unfrozen from the ice in 2010, and we go on to see the events of the Winter Soldier, Civil War, the first Avengers movie. We go on to see Infinity War, Endgame, everything he's involved in, right? We all know and love the story of Captain America. But now, here's something that was interesting to me. He went back in time. Tony Stark gave him a time travel device. Now, I need to make that clear. He gave him a time travel device, meaning that he can go back to different points in the timeline, right? He can't jump universes with it. He can't do any of that stuff. He can only move throughout the timeline, which goes back and forth, and it runs around in a full loop in a full circle, right? So he can move through time to get to where he needs to go. So basically, yes, Mr. Miyagi stuff, but basically, like, I need you guys to understand that, because he didn't get a multiversal traveling machine, so that's very important. So, as we all know, we all seen that he goes back in time. He returns the stones. He lives his life with Peggy. But I think that something happened. I think because he left that current point in time, so you've seen Deadpool and Wolverine, so you're going to understand this. I think Captain America is the anchor being of 616. So I think when you remove him, like, you move him back in time, I think it's still going to allow everything to work out the way that it needs to, right? And I think that when it, I think the problem is when you have one Captain America being the anchor being, that stabilizes everything. That stabilizes the whole universe, right? Now, when you have two Captain Americas, which are both the same anchor being, so they're not different people, they're the same person, but just from two different points in time. I think having two of the same anchor being in the same time can cause some destabilization. So basically the theory is that I believe that Loki personally moved him from that timeline to another timeline without his knowledge. So instead of him staying in the past of 616, I think when he went back to the past, he was moved to what is known as the 828 timeline, the Fantastic Four timeline. And this is going to make a lot of sense as I keep going on. So in the Fantastic Four timeline, when you watch through it, you're going to see it's set in the 60s. I know you're going to do the joke. Around the 70s, 6-7.
I got you.
It's around that time frame. It's in the 1960s going into the 1970s. Like, it's in the late 60s. It's a simple premise. I'm not spoiling anything by saying it, but Galactus, he basically, comes down to Earth. It is what it is. and they're able to defend him off, right? I'm pretty sure you knew that would happen anyways. It's the Fantastic Four movie. It's a simple premise, bro.
It was just a second until you noticed. It was like you caught me like right on point. I just wanted to see if you could see my smile, dude. I was
like, whatever. They win. It's. I'm sorry, dude. We cannot do this. We cannot do this.
Hold on, right, bro, hold on. It's just funny because all I can see is my teeth on there, dude.
The whole premise is set around defeating Galactus. It's around that time frame. So as we see Steve Rogers go back into time, we know he's primarily living maybe in the early 1960s, somewhere within the 1960s. He's living in. So if he's in the Fantastic Four universe, that's very important because, you know, they would both be set in the same time frame, meaning that they're coexisting at the same time. As we see in the Avengers Doomsday trailer, like, he has a kid, which I'm sure has to cause some level of destabilization because if you remember from Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, what the idea of incursions are, when a person from one universe steps into another universe and they leave a big footprint on the universe, it can cause an incursion. It can basically suck the two universes together and make it so either one or both universes die. So that's the premise of what an incursion is. So it's very likely that a being like Steve Rogers coming from the 616 universe, existing in 828, could cause those two universes to collide. Basically, what my theory was as well is that in the show Moon Knight, I believe that show, because of how isolated it is also set within the Fantastic Four universe as well. Because when you watch that show, you're going to see some interesting little key details in there which could indicate that that's the same universe. He's in a country that looks like it could be Latveria, which is the country that Doctor Doom runs. He has to steal an artifact for the Egyptian god that he serves or whatever, Khonshu. And you know, that's basically the whole premise, is he has to steal that and whatever. So it makes sense to me that that's Latveria, because they're, you know, when he's in the ice cream truck and he's trying to drive away from the bad guys, he basically, there's boxes behind him which say Von D, right? Von D. What's Doctor Doom's real name? Victor Von Doom.
Victor Von Doom.
So you know, they dropped the little Doctor Doom Easter eggs within that show. It doesn't like completely confirm, you know, that that's where it's set, but I would like to believe for this theory that Moon Knight is set inside of that universe, for that reason and for that purpose. So we have, you know, I want to say like 3 sets of heroes, I should say, where we have the Fantastic Four, Captain America, and Moon Knight all in the same universe right now. But I happened to point out in the video that if, you know, Khonshu exists in the Fantastic Four universe, right? Khonshu, you know, he's kind of more of like the spiritual guide to him. Like Moon Knight is the vessel for Khonshu to exist in a physical form, basically. And so, you know, it's funny enough, it's the same thing for Black Panther. The Black Panther is basically the vessel for the Panther goddess named Bast, right? And so it introduces the idea of there being vessels and spiritual beings behind the vessels, which we already knew from Black Panther existed. So my theory was, if Moon Knight exists, that must mean that other of those kind of spiritual beings exist as well. meaning that it's a high chance that someone like Bast has to exist as well. And if Bast exists, means that there has to be a Black Panther in that universe, meaning there has to be a Wakanda. So I want to point everyone who's watching this video to some concept art that was leaked for Avengers Doomsday. Now, what I want you to do really quick, Uriah, is I want you to look at this image. Look at the suit that he's wearing, okay? You notice how it has a cape and it's very, like, early Wakandan style?
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to show you another character. This is very, like, almost identical outfits, right? So, the comic book is T'Challa's grandfather. It's his grandfather. His name is Azuri the Wise. So, we've been talking a lot about Damson Idris coming into playing a new Black Panther. Now, it could make sense for him to play a T'Challa. You know, he looks a lot like T'Challa. I think he has that strong presence. If you've seen Snowfall, like, you would know he has a strong presence to him. And I personally think if you were to introduce, like, if you were to have a Wakanda existing, and you have a Black Panther existing, and, you know, you're setting it back in the 60s, that's the perfect time to introduce T'Challa's grandfather, which would be Azuri the Wise. And, because, like, a question I had was, so if you watched the Wakanda trailer for Avengers Doomsday, right?
Yeah.
The Fantastic Four, because I accidentally slipped up and told you this, the post-credit scene of the Thunderbolts. I didn't mean to do this. This happened like a few weeks ago. I was coming back from a restaurant with my great-grandfather. And I said, basically, yeah, there's a ship coming down into 616. It had the Fantastic Four logo on it. And it was basically setting up the events of Avengers Doomsday. Well, in the trailer, the Fantastic Four and Wakandan trailer, the Fantastic Four land in Wakanda. But my question was, how did they know that Wakanda existed? They're from New York City. How do you know that this place exists? Why would you not go to the 616 New York if you're from New York? So there must be a reason that they went to Wakanda. And I think, honestly, the reason that they went to Wakanda was because they all were in a Wakanda beforehand. So I think in this moment, when you see the Fantastic Four land in Wakanda, I don't think you're just going to see freaking Ben, Johnny, Sue, Reed. I don't think you're just going to see them. I think on top of that, you're going to see Steve Rogers, Captain America, Azuri the Wise, and possibly someone like Moon Knight. Although Moon Knight's kind of iffy. Because Moon Knight, if he does exist in the Fantastic Four timeline, he could always show up in a later time and basically play the role that Ant-Man played in Avengers Endgame, where he kind of showed up and was like, hey, I have knowledge about this. And so I'm going to show up out the blue and help you guys out now so that we can make sure whatever happens. So why do they even want to go to 616 in the first place? It's because I have to imagine... I gotta spoil something. I don't care. So, the post-credit scene of the Fantastic Four basically ends with... Sue's reading a book to the kid in the movie. And she ends up going to grab another book. She wants to read A Fly Went By to him. She hears a swoosh sound. She's like, uh-oh, that's not good. My kid's in there. So she's walking down. She's starting to use her power with her hand or whatever. And she's like getting ready to fight whoever it is. Then it shows the green cloak, the Doctor Doom cloak. And it shows Franklin Richards, the kid, touching his face. Yeah. And him holding the mask off to the side. So my honest thoughts is that in Avengers Doomsday, what's going to happen is Doctor Doom is going to show up and say, look, we're on a crash collision course with another reality right now. And if we don't address the situation, we're not going to survive. Right. It is very unlikely that we survive, and we're going to lose everything if we do not take care of this issue. And I think that he's going to point out that, look, there's a being from another reality, from a universe marked 616 living inside our universe. I'm going to need Reed to create a multiversal portal device. I know he's been like, tapering around with some ideas, but we're gonna have to work on a device to make sure that we can get him back to his universe where he came from, so it doesn't destabilize our reality. And I think that it's going to be a difficult task for Reed, because he's going to require maybe a certain amount of vibranium, maybe adamantium, and he's going to require a certain amount of knowledge and tech that he's not going to have. So what I think is going to happen is, I think that Sue Storm, Doctor Doom, and maybe the kid Franklin, I think that they're all going to go to the house to meet up with... Hello everybody, I want to apologize really quick. The audio cut out the other day. My computer was really tweaking out. So I'm just going to continue with what I was saying here really quick, and then we'll cut to the next part where I ask him his thoughts about Avengers Doomsday. So basically, to finish up what I was saying here was basically, I think that, they were going to approach the house. They were basically going to interrupt Steve and Peggy's dance or whatever was going on inside. And I think they're basically going to be like, well, hey, look, you're not supposed to be here. You're destabilizing our reality by you being here. We got to get you back where you're going. I think that they could take him to the Baxter building where, they could basically, he could see him and Doctor Doom, Reed Richards and Doctor Doom working together to try to create a multiversal device to get him back to his universe, to when they're going to discover that they need more vibranium or adamantium, whatever is, more prominent in this universe. And so he's going to be like, hey, look, I know a guy, let's go see him really quick. And basically, because he has the knowledge of Wakanda from 616, he knows in this universe as well, most likely they're hiding out as well. So he's going to take them to Wakanda, where basically they're going to approach him at the gate, and he's going to say, hey, I'm here to meet with T'Challa or whoever, and, where they're basically going to be like, well, we don't know of no T'Challa, and he's going to be like, well, I know what's behind your borders. I know that you have an advanced civilization. I'm from another universe where I understand that, and here's the situation. And I think it could be something too where, like, Doctor Doom could have knowledge and could basically say to the king, like, hey, look, yeah, we need to talk to you because we know about this. Because the only two people that would know would be Doctor Doom and would be Steve Rogers, would they not? So it would be interesting if basically they both use their knowledge to get inside of Wakanda and to basically get enough vibranium or adamantium to build the multiversal ship that they need to build. And then that's when they can basically take Steve Rogers back to the Wakanda in 616, to where then you see where the trailer starts. So anyways, in this next part, I ask him what his thoughts about Avengers Doomsday are, and he basically is going to explain it. I'm sorry if the video tweaks out a little bit. I'm still editing through and watching it, so whatever is glitching out, I'll try to give you guys the context in the best way that I can. Thank you all, and God bless you. Amen.
It's gonna be an all-out war, dude, and
absolutely, man,
I'm ready for it. But listen.
Honestly, I think some of the universes that we're going to see collide in Doomsday, I don't think it's one universe that we're going to be colliding with. I think that it's going... everything. What's up?
Everything.
I didn't hear what you said. What'd you say?
I don't know. Everything, dude. All right, maybe not every universe, but yeah.
Well, basically, my thoughts is what universes have interacted with the MCU so far, and I hate to say some of this stuff because I do have to spoil a few things that I don't want to spoil, but it kind of gets you caught up to speed as well. But what universes have interacted with the MCU so far, like the 616 universe, the Tobey Maguire universe, the Andrew Garfield universe, the Deadpool universe, the X-Men universe. They've all interacted with each other in some kind of way. right?
Yeah.
And what are the main groups of heroes which we're going to be seeing in Avengers Doomsday? We're talking about seeing the Fantastic Four, the Thunderbolts, the X-Men, the Avengers. You're going to be seeing, whoever, maybe Deadpool, Wolverine, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man was rumored to be the lead Spider-Man of the movie. So it's like, what's up with that?
Yeah, no. Dude, I feel you. Bro, dude, I don't know exactly what to expect, what the heck, what to expect, but bro, what I do know is, bro, it's about to get crazy, dude. That's one thing I do know.
Really, like for real. And like
Yeah.
the thing is like there was a big report that just came out that they were going to be adapting the 2015 Jonathan Hickman's Secret War run for this and the Time Runs Out event, which I'm telling you, go down the rabbit hole on that in your own time, brother, because that is an insane story. An absolutely insane story. And if they can MCU-ify it, like, that is going to be incredible. And I personally cannot wait to see it. Like, it's going to be a spectacle of a movie if that's the run that they're adapting.
Yeah, dude, no, that's gonna be dope, man. Dude, ever since, like, bro, I'm not gonna lie, since the end of December, bro, I've just been going through these timelines and just, like, time slipping, and I'm
Bro's
just
traveling
like,
the multiverse. It's actually insane.
bro, it's
He brought back
crazy,
an artifact
bro.
from Universe 927. It's crazy.
927, bro. Dude, can I tell you something, bro?
What's up?
Can I tell you something, bro? There's a lion's den in every universe.
Yo!
This is just the least subscribed one.
Yo,
Y'all need to subscribe.
No, freaking, man. All right.
They need to subscribe, bro.
Bro, they need to subscribe. But, anyways, let's wrap up for today. How about that, brother?
All right.
Alrighty, so thank you all for watching very much. It's a pleasure to see the audience once again. You guys saw me more recent than you saw him, but it's nice to see you guys again. It's nice to actually have my face back in the camera. It's easier when I have someone to talk to. But like it was nice talking to you on the podcast again, brother. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir, brother. And dude, hey man, I just want to end it off like this though, bro. Y'all, man, if y'all haven't prayed today, pray real quick, all right? We're going to do a little Our Father. Our Father who is in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us for our sins, our trespasses, as we forgive those who have trespassed against us. In the name of Jesus, deliver us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. In Jesus' name. God bless you guys. Amen.